Day, everybody. It is Calxiyn here, and thank you for attending Calxyn's Royal Court today, where we have gathered to watch Attack on Titan, episode 77, Sneak Attack. I'm super excited, but before we get into it, let me remind you all that this is my reaction highlights and then my review, where we will discuss, analyze, and theorize. If you want to see my full watch-along reaction, that will be up on Patreon. It is a you press play when I press play sort of thing. So if you want to watch along with me, that's a great way to support the channel, support the editors, and I may be able to cover more anime in the future with that as well. But without further ado, let us just get into it. Oh, damn! Oh my god! I love Sasha's family. They're like, well, listen, this doesn't really involve us, so can we just go? Oh, well, that's nice. Question mark. There's a little bit of a question mark in there. Damn. Okay, Connie. Valid. Valid. Because they want to protect you. They want to push you away so you guys don't get hurt and die. You push away the people you love to keep them safe. I don't think he wants, like, Mikasa to die following him, you know? Down this path. Holy fuck. See, this is what I'm saying. How are they rectifying this? Like, this is pretty bad. You know? I mean, I guess they have Armin, but, like, am I overestimating Armin? I don't know. Nice! Good job! Oh my god, that was pretty badass, Eren. Poor Porco, but, like, you know, it do be like that. Poor Gillard. Oh. Even though I want Eren to win, I don't want Gillard to die. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, fuck Reiner. What you want is not possible. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's not good for Reiner, bro. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god. Nice. Yay, it's Zeke. I mean, yay and Zeke, question mark? Should we be yaying that it's Zeke? Oh, man. Oh, man. And Armin is coming upstairs? You guys are fucking screwed. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm a little too, I'm a little too happy about this. Good job. Oh, did Eren know he was coming? I don't know. He looks pretty shocked. So, you know, he looks pretty stunned. Yeah, they're getting bodied. Let's go. You know, I still don't like these guys. Even if I like Peck and Porco and stuff, I still don't like the Marley soldiers. So, like, we can see them get bodied. It's okay. Yeah, go, 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 go. Yeah, it's true. I'm glad that she's realizing it. We love to see character development. Yes, exactly, Gabi. This is all your fault. Aww. Poor Falco. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't want Falco to be dead. Oh, hello. I guess the idea is that if they help Eren, they'll stay alive, and Zeke won't scream and do the bads. You know what I mean? Ultimately, even though they drank the wine, they are going to go help Eren, so it totally makes sense. She looks so pissed. Oh, Mikasa. Oh, she's leaving her scarf there. What does that mean? She's leaving her love for Eren behind? She's just doing her duty at this point? Okay, guys, why doesn't Zeke come down there? Well, yeah, if he can barely walk over there, Yelena. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, all of the history-changing moments at hand, and I'm just like, sis, I don't know. It's not looking too good. He still has to get all the way over there. Come on, Zeke, help your literal brother out. Help a brother out, literally. Damn. That's kind of funny. Oh, man. Because they're gonna do the rumbling. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Oh, but now will they try to stop them? Yelena does not look very happy. What is that face for? He's helping. What the fuck? a sense of humor, question mark. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big question mark. This is so bad. Oh, Falco! Hey, don't move! Oh, damn, he's being honest with him. Oh, this guy's so nice. Oh, look at this guy. Even though he's the enemy, he's helping Falco get back with his brother. That's so nice. Please don't shoot him. No, no, don't shoot the nice man. He's helping him. Colt, no. Oh my God, Gabi, common sense. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. That's so badass. Oh my God. The that's such a nice scene. The enemy helping their enemy. Like, oh my God. Like, you know, that's just so great. I love it here. Oh, I'm glad Colt did not shoot him. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, they're trying to hide too. Oh, that's why. Is that why Gabi trusted the enemy? Yeah, because that's Sasha's family. Oh, and they were still worried about them after all that they did? Oh, okay. Damn, bro. Oh, Gabi. The fact that they were still worried about her, though, after everything she did. Oh, that's so fucked. Oh. Oh, Gabi. Oh. Look at all these bird cages, too. That's symbolic. Oh. Yep, the cycle of revenge, Gabi. Oh. Oh. But you didn't know it wasn't your fault. Oh, I like that Falco was sharing this, though, because Gabi feels like it's all her fault, but Falco also has guilt, too. You know? They both... Oh, okay. Well... Oh... Oh... I love this for them! Colt's just here like... Poor Colt is in a very awkward situation. Because we all may die. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to regret. You don't want to live with or die with regret. Oh. See, but if they can get him his powers, you know, if they can get Falco Reiner's powers, it'll be fine. I don't think so. Zeke is not on your side anymore, sir. What do you mean? Zeke does not give a fuck. I'm pretty sure that Reiner would give more of a fuck. Oh, this is, oh my God, this is so tense. Oh, Porco. Uh-oh. Peck. Wait, but Peck's not dead. What? No, you did not. Absolutely not. You absolutely did not. They would not kill Peck. Oh, fuck. See, it was a trap. Oh, Lord. You idiots. Good job, though, guys. That was so smart. Peck is so smart and beautiful. Oh, my God. Okay. I was going to say beautiful and smart, but she's also deadly still. That's no good. Oh, fuck. No, is Zeke going to be okay? Run, Eren! I know we can't. Wait. Did Eren want this to happen? So he could get Zeke's power? Fuck! But Reiner, why do you want to stop him, bro? Falco! What if Falco does get it? Like I thought, no! Oh my God, bro, that's not fair. You can't do this. All right, everybody, let us just get into the review. I screenshotted this because I thought it was funny. Like, I'm glad Attack on Titan still has a sense of humor in these dark times. I just think it's funny that Sasha's family was like, this doesn't involve us, so can we go home? Meanwhile, I did really like what John and Connie were saying during this scene. I think it's interesting that he says, I've been saying that Eren's dangerous, like, from day one, right? Like, look at what hell he's let us in. But I've always envied him for being so cool, and I'm like, this was written by Eren. You know what I mean? Like, it just has that vibe, but I understand what he means, though. It's like, yeah, like, the entire time he's kind of thought that Eren's been an impulsive asshole, but, like, that's part of what makes Eren so cool. Like, the fact that he is that impulsive, you know? I feel like that's what John is talking about. Like, yes, Eren is sort of, like, headstrong and stubborn, but it has been his headstrong and stubbornness that has gotten us this far. Like, think about all the stuff that they've done just because Eren was stupid enough to do it. That's basically what I'm thinking. And so that's why I like that he says, it pisses me off to say it, but I don't want him to die just yet. If he dies like this, I can't slug him in the face. I love that. That's like a classic, like, you know, if he dies, I can't kill him. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Connie doesn't want to kill him, but, like, I just love that in anime when it's like, well, I can't let you die because I need to, you know, you're my rival. I need to punch you in the face first. Obviously, it's not the same as that, but it has that same sort of, like, vibe. And so I kind of like that from Connie. It's like, I can't get out my personal beef with Eren if he dies, so I guess we should go help him. And look at this man. This man is just like, what? I just love the look on his face. That was another funny part of the episode. Was he was like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, this is a kind of a weird way for things to go. It reminds me of something that was in Odd Taxi, and I'll be vague, like, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but there's a scene, and one of the characters is like, why are these two fighting? And the main character in Odd Taxi, he says something like, you know, they're men and they can't find a better way to express how they feel to each other, so they're just like beating the shit out of each other. That's kind of like, those are the vibes that Connie was kind of giving me. So as they're running up the stairs, Mikasa asks if Eren is hiding his intentions. Why did he push us away? Why would Eren say that he hates me? And see, this is something that I said last season as well. I feel like that he's pushing them away in order to basically like prevent them from getting hurt or getting involved. And I think it's specifically Mikasa for a parallel that I think like is going to be drawn with like Falco and Gabi. It's that at the end of the day, Eren is going to die, like, in 13 years. Even if he doesn't die here, he's gonna die in 13 years, or, like, less now, because obviously we have to subtract the time that he's had the power, right? Armin will eventually die. I feel like that what Armin is realizing in this scene is that the reason why he was trying to drive Mikasa away is because, in a way, he is kind of doing this for Mikasa, because Mikasa will be the last of them. You know what I mean? Like, out of him and Armin in the trio, she will be the last survivor, and he wants to make sure that she is able to live a long and happy, free life, right? And so I think that, like, that's the key of it all. I think that that's really, like, the reason why he's tried to push her away, because ultimately, even if he dies and Armin dies, like, he wants Mikasa to be able to, like, live and have that dream of freedom that he saw for them once. That's not possible for him anymore, but it is still possible for Mikasa. And that's why I think Armin starts to remember the conversation that they had at the beach right there. I think that he's starting to think about that because he remembers what Eren said, because Eren said something to the effect of, if we just go kill all our enemies, will we finally be able to be free, right? And so he's making sure that that's something that can be done within, like, his lifetime, so Mikasa can be happy when they're dead. But see, Armin doesn't actually explain that. He just does his little, like, oh, could it be? You know, he does his little mystery thing to himself. But it seems like he knows the reason, and I guess one day they'll, you know, explain that to the audience. He just goes like, anyway, you know, that aside, like, we've known about your headaches for a long time. It's possible that Eren just like, oh, you know, those headaches that you've been getting? Well, I know the reason. It's because you're an Arkerman, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, he basically used something that Mikasa had already told them as evidence for, like, this whole Arkerman lie that he made up. But that's what Armin says. And I feel like the thing about Armin, and this is what I said last week, I feel like that Armin is kind of pulling stuff out of his ass. I feel like he doesn't know for sure, but he thinks if he can just talk to Eren, he can convince Eren out of, like, doing the bad euthanization plan, basically. Euthanization plan, I should say. And so I feel like that that's actually what's going on here. He doesn't know for sure that it's a lie. I actually don't think it's a lie. I do think that it's, like, partly true, just based off some of the stuff that we know, that yes, like Mikasa is an Arkerman, they were supposed to, you know, like that's why that she's protecting him, right? Because didn't they say that that's what like the Arkermans were brought to the island for? Like that lady, isn't that what she said? That was like the whole thing? I don't know. Anyway, and so like that aside, like that whole thing aside, I think that Eren is actually partially telling the truth, but Armin at this point is just trying to be like, guys, like we have no choice, let's go help him. Again, it's not selfish, but it's an Armin personal motivation. I just need to convince everyone, it doesn't matter how, I just need to convince everyone for us to go save Eren, because I want to talk to him and I want to talk him out of the plan, if he actually does have it. So I don't think Armin actually knows whether or not Eren's on board with the plan or against the plan or whatever. Like, I don't think that he actually is certain, 100% sure, like that Eren is not on board with Zeke. He just thinks, well, I can talk him out of it. That's my interpretation of Armin anyway. Like, I don't know if that's like a cynical interpretation, because I said this last week and nobody like, you know, corrected me. Like nobody explicitly was like, no, Cal, I think you're wrong, right? So when I said this last week, you know, I wasn't challenged at all. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, right? Because some people may have like the perception that Armin just really believes in his friend and he believes everything he is saying is true. But I think it's more nuanced if Armin doesn't actually believe everything he's saying. He's just saying what needs to be said to convince everyone, because he has faith that like he, you know, he can basically stop things from going bad later. Does that make sense? If I lie to everybody now, if I lie to Mikasa now, I can at least get her to protect Eren now, and then when I talk to Eren, everything will be fine later. Now, something else that I was thinking, right? They bring up this, like, what we need is a new hero, right? The commander was saying that, or I guess, I'm sorry, he's general now, the general. Anyway, the general was saying that, and I have, like, strong intuition that maybe that's foreshadowing to Falco, and I feel like that, we can talk about this now, we can talk about this later. I feel like Falco is going to get somebody's powers at this point, just because he will turn into a Titan if Zeke screams. And so, like, the logical conclusion that I have seen this going since, like, last year's reviews is that Falco would get either Reiner's or Zeke's. At this point, I'm kind of leaning more towards Zeke because he's getting close to Zeke. But I do wonder, like, what the implications of that would be. And that's the only thing. I haven't seen anybody else speculate about that, because the whole thing with Zeke right now is he has the Beast Titan power, but he also has royal blood. And so if Falco ate Zeke, wouldn't the royal blood thing be, like, gone? Like, wouldn't it not work anymore? Wouldn't it not work anymore? You guys understand what I mean? Like, would it be bad if Falco got Zeke's powers? Because then how would they do everything that they've been trying to do this whole time? You know what I mean? Because if they could do the rumbling with Historia, they would have done it already. But now, like, if Falco has Zeke's powers but not his royal blood, they wouldn't be able to do the rumbling? Question mark? That's the only thing. That's why I'm kind of leaning more towards Reiner, but it would throw a wrench in the story if it was Falco. So what's interesting about this is that Reiner says, why did I ever think that we were the same? Enough already, right? And I think what's interesting about that is it's because Reiner, like, from his perspective, is like, I just want all of this to be over. I thought you wanted it all to be over too, but clearly, like, you're coming out here and you're fighting me, so clearly not. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what Reiner's saying. Like, I thought we were the same. I thought we just wanted all of this to end. But instead of, like, you know, going into the tunnels like Yelena said, obviously Reiner doesn't know that Yelena said that, but do you guys understand what I mean? Like, instead of, like, going in to avoid conflict, you came and brought the conflict with you. So clearly, like, we're not the same anymore. You want bloodshed. I want all of this to just be over. But I feel like that Reiner is kind of ignoring the fact that for it all to be over, like bad things are gonna happen to all of the people here. Bad things will happen to Paradis if Eren doesn't step in, though. So isn't that kind of selfish of Reiner to want all of this to be over and want all this to end? Because that means everyone here would die. You know what I mean? Maybe he just means, like, the cycle of bloodshed, and, like, if Paradis was just gone, the cycle of bloodshed would end. But I'm like, you can't really ask a whole group of people to die just so you don't need to fight them anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just thought that, like, it was kind of interesting, I guess, the way that Reiner was saying it, but maybe that is Reiner's mindset. Like, Reiner's mindset is just like, hey, why are you prolonging this? Marley will win in the end, and we can have less conflict that way. Maybe that's what Reiner sort of, like, thinks inside of his heart, you know? I don't know. But maybe he also sees that Eren is just, like, prolonging, like, maybe the inevitable, or that he's prolonging it and that is putting more people in danger versus him not doing that. But Zeke coming in right here, it's really nice. Like, I just love this because, like, Eren has a full spike coming out of him, and there's just the rays of the sun, like, descending on Zeke. And see, that's the other thing. It's really funny to think that that lady, like, Ymir, or I guess the original Ymir, as opposed to, like, Scout Ymir, you know, like, it's funny to think that Ymir, like, fixed this man just so he could die, just so Falco could eat him. Oh, also, I do have a theory about the Falco thing, though. In the end song, there's all this stuff with, like, a bird. You know what I mean? And so what I was thinking was, I don't know how the Beast Titan thing works. I don't know if you're always, like, a monkey, you know what I mean? Like, when you inherit the powers. I can't remember exactly if you can get other animals or not, but imagine, like, Falco, like, he gets it, and then he's the bird, and that's why Eren keeps, like, he looks at the bird, and that's the whole thing, and that's why Falco at the very beginning of the season, has, like, the vision of the bird. It's because he gets Zeke's powers, and then he becomes the bird, and that's why in the end song, like, Eren is looking at the bird, and the bird, like, is, like, in the cage with them, and, like, all of that, like, all of the metaphors and stuff. Like, what if that's what all the bird metaphors are? It's talking about Falco, and it's like that Falco, I don't know, maybe Falco is the key to get them out of the cage. Maybe Falco keeps them in the cage, because you see he's looking up the bird, and then the cage comes around Eren. So is the bird gonna help them or hurt them, right? Maybe that's why Falco had, like, his whole, like, vision thingy, and that's why birds are so important. And see, this is the other thing, too, that I don't think Yelena realized. The reason why Eren didn't just, like, go hide in the tunnels was because him and Zeke had, like, a meeting time in a meeting place, right? And so, like, Eren basically did have to go out and fight here and then buy time, because if Zeke was going to meet him, like, if Zeke was going to come, Eren had to be out, like, to meet him. You know what I mean? So I don't think Yelena knew that, and that's why she was like, Eren, go hide in the tunnels. Like, this was the time and place that they promised, and so that's another reason. Like, it wasn't just his beef with Reiner, like I thought last episode. I really thought, I was like, is this because of your beef with Reiner, Eren? But I actually think that it's also because of, like, this plan. Well, first of all, Eren has, like, I think an underlying plan here. I think he almost wanted Zeke to get hurt and die. But, like, that's the whole thing, is that Eren started the fight on purpose, right? And then, like, dragged the fight out because he knew that he had to come all the way over here to meet Zeke. And then maybe Eren also thought that if he dragged out the fighting, they would attack Zeke and take care of Zeke for him because he wants to eat Zeke anyway. So it's two things, right? On the surface, Eren had to meet Zeke. That's why he, like, started the fight with Reiner. So he would be, like, you know, out and about and all of that jazz, right? But the underlying reason is that the reason why Eren started this fight was because when Zeke showed up, he wanted him to get hurt. Like, this was intentional, right? And Reiner realizes that. He's like, oh, that was your plan, Eren. Well, you're the last person I want to see with those powers, right? And so, yeah, they have a very interesting, like, good job hanging in there. Like, you know, leave the rest to me, your big brother. And I like the parallels in this episode, just because we do have, like, this sort of, like, you know, Colt and Falco, like, brother relationship. And then meanwhile, we have Zeke and Eren. And that's very interesting. Like, Colt is trying to do something to save Falco. And that'll probably be the thing next episode, right? Is that Colt makes a choice to, you know, let Falco eat Zeke, I guess, and that's, like, saving Falco. Like, Colt does something to save Falco and make sure that Falco is saved, but meanwhile, Eren does something to kill his brother. And that's also interesting because, like, I think that they have been diving a lot into, like, biblical stuff here, like, you know, Zeke rising again, that's kind of, like, a biblical thing, right? And so, like, the Cain and Abel vibes are really interesting, like, you know, like, religious stories about brothers killing each other may be worth looking into. I really liked this because Peck was like, duking it out isn't wise, and that's foreshadowing to like her plan, her galaxy brain plan later, and this is also foreshadowing because he does do it. You know what I mean? He does do it. And so yeah, Zeke making his way over to the Beast Titan, obviously, and so I like this. Leave the Titans to the Titans, right? I love Colt, you know, Colt with his common sense, and I really love this development for Gabi because she's finally admitting like this is all of her fault, which it is, right? I'm not blaming her because like, you know, she's a child, but like it is all of her fault, right? So yeah, I really like how she's recognizing that finally, how she's kind of taking responsibility that like, yeah, I was at the top of our class. I was supposed to keep them safe. I'm not gonna run off and save myself after Falco, you know, came all the way here trying to save me. And so I think that's really good. And then the conversation that she has later, we'll talk about that too. I really liked this scene with Falco and I can't remember, I already forgot the name of the man. Anyway, I liked this scene between them because it showed some like humanity, and obviously it sets up that stuff for later. And so he's like, don't you have family waiting for you? This might be your last shot to go home. I doubt I'll see my wife or daughters again. With one scream from Zeke, I'll become a monster. There's so much I wanted to tell my girls too, right? And so you can see like he has a family, he has children, he's lamenting he may as well be dead. But here's the thing, it's kind of, I don't want to say funny, but it's kind of insensitive that this man is like, oh my god, I may as well be dead because I drank Zeke's fluid, as if Falco, like the whole reason why Falco's in here is because he drank it too. So he's like, I may as well be dead. You too, son. You also may as well be dead. That's not what he said, but I just thought that that was kind of funny just because it's like he's talking about how he's a goner, and it's like Falco is also equally a goner, sir. Why are you saying this to the child? But I like that this is set up for later, like that he wishes that he could have the chance to say goodbye to his daughters, and so he's not going to deprive, you know, a brother of their brother, if that makes sense, or another parent of their child. It's almost like the reverse. He wishes, right, the man, he wishes that he could see his daughters again, right? And so he imagines like, man, like I can't imagine being deprived of like, you know, of seeing my daughters, almost like if the role was reversed. And so we make sure that Falco gets home to his family because he cannot see, like the man cannot see his family anymore. Do you guys get, like it's a whole thing, right? Like he is basically bringing Falco back to his family because the man knows that he will never see his family again. And so yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost the reverse, but then it's also like it's the thing, right? So yeah, I just really like that scene. I like what that scene sets up and represents. But let's talk about Mikasa. So she leaves her scarf here and the girl notices it. Now I think that this girl, was she the one that was inspired to join the Survey Corps because of like that she saw Mikasa that one time, or was that a different girl? Anyway, I'm not sure. I don't remember. So she puts it down and she kind of looks back at it, and then the girl looks down. And so I wonder if the girl is actually going to take the scarf with her and bring it back to Mikasa later. But I wonder what is it supposed to represent, right? Because like she's had that scarf since Eren, right? So is it like she's not doing this for Eren anymore? She's doing it for herself and her friends and for like Paradise? Is like that the thing? I wonder what the metaphor is that she's not doing it for Eren, but she's doing it for the good of the world. She's not doing it because she has like what do you call it? A possession to protect Eren, but doing it like for the good of her friends and stuff. Like I wonder like what it's supposed to mean, her leaving it behind. Is she trying to leave her feelings for Eren behind to see if she can stop protecting him and instead just focus on like, you know, doing her duty as somebody just like Connie, you know what I mean? I thought this scene was interesting as well because Yelena is saying the moment which shall change history is at hand, and I feel like that's definitely foreshadowing for something to not go right. You know what I mean? Like what if the change in history is that Zeke loses the powers and it goes to Falco, like I already said, like that's the change, or Eren gets Zeke's powers and that's like how history changes, and then who knows what'll happen after that. And I love how Connie is like, I think Reiner's the one that needs help because they came out here to help Eren, but like Eren doesn't seem to need help anymore. He does later, but like Reiner's the one getting bodied. And they're like, why is Zeke here? Zeke is supposed to be guarded by Levi. Like there's no way he should be here. And that's when they realize that he's dead, right? Or I guess he's not dead, like he's fine. But that's when they think that he is dead, right? That's the thing. And they're like, no, there's no way, right? And I'm like, no, there is no way. They're not dead. They're fine. But they don't know that, so I get it. And so Armin makes a split-second decision here because he's like, oh shit, like what if this makes everybody angry? Like what if like Jean gets so angry that he's like, well, I can't help Eren now, like after like he killed Levi, how can we help Eren and Zeke, right? So Armin's like preemptively basically making an argument. Does that make sense? Like he's preemptively stopping them from being angry enough to stop helping Eren, right? And this is again kind of what I was getting at by like Armin not meaning what he says. And it's not that he doesn't believe it, but he's like, he's trying so hard to convince everyone all the time, I guess is what I'm saying. And yeah, what this face from Yelena was for, I have no idea. I think it's actually like some people were speculating about like, oh, did Armin reveal in that sentence that he knows too much or like what? But actually like what I think is happening, right? Because like the dude, the man, told them all this information in the cell that Armin's not supposed to know. So it's like, did Armin just hint that he knows that information, and so she made that face because she knows that the other guy told them, right? Like the dude, I don't remember his name, I'm so sorry. I think it starts with an O, but yeah, anyway, and so that's the thing, right? Was that the reason for the face? What I think it actually is, if it's not that, here's my like whole thing with it. I think it's because Yelena is looking at them like, bitch, do you guys think that you have a choice? That's funny. You know what I mean? Like he's saying like, no, we still have to go help Eren and Zeke, right? Like Armin is saying, no, we still have to help them no matter what. And it's like, you guys were in the dungeon. Do you really think that Yelena would just like, you know, let you if you weren't going to help Eren and Zeke? So I feel like that's why she had the face at first, because it was sort of like a threat. It was like, do you guys really think that I would just let you change your mind? You know, because that's the vibe that I'm getting, is that like, bro, like if you guys aren't gonna help Eren and Zeke, I would just throw you back into the dungeon. Like you guys have no choice but to help them if you're out and about out here, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but that's what I kind of got from that scene, is she's like, oh, you think that there's a choice? That's funny. Like, obviously you have to help Zeke if you're out here. Anyway, to talk about this scene, oh, I loved this scene so much. This was like one of the tensest scenes in recent memory. And I know that that sounds dramatic, but like, there is just so much good emotional tension here because you're so worried, you know, right? It's the knowledge that he is trying to help, right? That the man is just like putting on like a, come with me, prisoner. Like he's just like, you know, putting on a show to get Falco home. I think that that's why it's so tense, that you actually know that this man is a good guy. Like you know that he's trying to do a good thing. But the fact that Colt doesn't know that, you're worried that he's going to shoot him and shoot the guy doing the good thing. And I think that's why it's so tense, as opposed to other scenes, because you know, as the audience, that that guy is good and he's just trying to bring Falco back to his brother. And so if that guy died doing a good thing, it would be really frustrating, right? So that's why it's so tense. But luckily, Gabi stops him, which is really good. And I love this. This is no place for a kid. Go home. And it's like, there's still humanity. There's still kindness. There's still, you know, like in war and everything. And I think that that's also kind of the point of Attack on Titan to an extent. It's like, even with all the bad shit going on, like nobody on Paradise or like even Marley, like the whole point is that there are no devils on either side. They're just people, and people still have like the humanity to act like people no matter what, I guess, the military is doing. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's like we forget that most of the time, the crimes that are perpetrated are crimes by the military, not by the civilians, right? And the military are also people too. Like, that's, you know, like something that Attack on Titan is trying to show the point of. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I don't know, like they focus so much on the crimes of Marley that they forget about the people that live there, or they don't care about the people that live there. And with Paradise, like it's sort of the same thing, right? And so I think that that's like sort of the theming of Attack on Titan, is that there is no collective of bad people on Paradise, right? Or even on Marley. There's no collective of bad people. There are just people that have done like bad things, right? Like as a military for Marley, or as military for paradise or vice versa, right? But I think that like what Attack on Titan really tries to get at is that the majority of people are good, you know, and still have like that humanity in them. And so I think that that's kind of the point, and that's what this scene illustrates so well, is that yeah, they're enemies, but he sees him as just a person, right? It's like the crimes of Eren and like Reiner and stuff are like, that's like Reiner and Eren, but the mass majority of people are not like that, I guess. Like that's the whole point, you know? And so I think that it's nice that they still like showcase that, and I do like that the hug that they had between them. I'm sorry if that was like a messy explanation, by the way, but I'm sure that you guys understand what I mean. Like even it's what Gabi says later. I thought that everybody on the island was a devil, but they were actually all people just like me, and people see the humanity in each other, right? And so I feel like that's what they get at later. And I thought that this was a cool scene because Sasha's family walks by and they still, this is what kills me, right? And like emotionally too. They still worry about Falco and Gabi after everything they did. After finding out that they killed, like that she killed their daughter, they still worry. And I feel like that's why Gabi starts crying. Like she has done so many like horrible things, but they still care enough about her, right? Like just as a person, like as a child, you know what I mean? That they are worried about her just on that like human level. And that's what makes her emotional. And so she gets up, I feel as almost, as if almost she's going to like reach out to them and tell them to hide in here. But then she hears, you know, what Sasha's sister says, like, who cares about her? Like, she killed my sister. I wish I could kill her. And that, I feel, is the big, again, another big theme of Attack on Titan, or like the big point. It's this cycle of revenge. Who cares about that? I wish I could kill her. Like, I feel like that, again, something that we've talked about before is just like Sasha's sister wants to kill Gabi, is just like Eren wanting to kill Reiner, is just like, you know, before and before and before and before, right? Like, everything is just a cycle. Everything's a cycle of revenge, right? And so I think that that's very interesting in terms of like the themes of the show. And that's interesting for Gabi as well, because I think Gabi's realizing it. Because think about it, right? Gabi wants to kill Sasha, right? And now Sasha's dead. And so Sasha's sister wants to kill Gabi, right? Like it's just that, it's that whole cycle, right? She wants to kill Sasha for what she did. And so now like Sasha's sister wants to kill Gabi for what she did. And that's how like nothing ever stops, right? And so I think that that's like very interesting for them to actually like go through all of that and for Gabi to realize it. And it's interesting too that this whole house very conveniently is like a birdcage store, and I feel like that's a very like clear metaphor. There weren't any devils on the island, there were just people. I finally understand Reiner, right? And so that's also like the same thing with Reiner. Reiner thought that he was, you know, going to the island of devils, but then he did the thing. And then he joined the Survey Corps and realized that it was wrong, and like he's kind of racked with guilt in a way. You know what I mean? Like he realized that there were people here just like them, and he had to live with that guilt. That's why Reiner has been different ever since he got back to Marley, right? And so that's what his family was picking up on, and now Gabi's realizing why. Because when you come here and you realize that your enemy are just like people just like you, that's a hard guilt to grapple with. And now Gabi is also grappling with that same guilt. We just decided that these people we never met were devils, doing the same things over and over and over again. And again, it's that cycle of revenge. And we also see nice little birdcage metaphor right here. But Falco, what's interesting here is that he does like a comforting gesture to himself, like, you know, a shame gesture, like I'm ashamed of what I did, but he covers his Titan band in the process. And so I guess, I don't know, like maybe it's sort of like he has the Titan band on to represent that he drunk the serum, but he's trying, I don't know, he's trying to say like, I also did bad things, like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to be turned into a Titan. He doesn't want to be turned into a monster, but he also has blood on his hands like a Titan would. And so I wonder if that's why he's sort of covering it up. almost, because he says like lots of people were slaughtered. It's my fault that Zudo and Sophia are dead, right? And so I think that it's interesting how he covers up the band. Is it because he's trying to believe like I'm not a monster, but I still did like a bad thing? Like I don't know. It was just a very interesting how do you say, like, shot composition for him to cover it up. Or maybe it's supposed to be like he's thinking about the fact he'll turn into a Titan soon, and so he's kind of revealing all his secrets. You know, he wants to say things, he wants to get stuff off of his chest before he dies. He doesn't want Gabi to live with all of this guilt, I think, could also be it. And then he says that he's in love with her, which I thought was great, because again, this is a juxtaposition between Mikasa and Eren's relationship, and then also Falco and Gabi's, right? Because I feel like that Eren does love her, and he's just never said it, right? And he keeps all of that like close to his chest, whereas he's just like, hey, I may die, so I may as well just tell you. And I thought like it was really sweet. Like it was a sweet scene, but it was also funny because Colt's just here like, bro. Colt being here just made it so funny. And Gabi's just like, why are you telling me this? And then I think that they didn't know. Well, actually, no. Gabi told them that he may turn into a Titan. So I guess it's just like that Falco is aware that he's going to turn into a Titan. And so I think that that's what scares Colt, is that the fact that Falco is saying all this is because he's come to terms with his own mortality. And that's what's freaking him out, you know, because she already said that, oh yeah, Falco drank some of Zeke's Titan serum, right? Maybe it's the fact that his brother is actively thinking that he's going to die that is freaking all of them out. But Gabi had a very emotional reaction right here, and I love it because she rips off the armband, right? Because I think that she sees it as just another cage, right? Or just another, I don't want to say trap, but do you guys understand what I mean? Like, they had the Marley armbands before to represent that they were Eldians. And now that they've come all the way over here, he has another, like, trap around his arm in the same way to represent that he will turn into a Titan. In a way to represent, again, that he is Eldian. Because only Eldians can turn into Titans. And so I feel like that, like, Gabi rips off the band because it's like the armband here in this case is almost something to represent like how Falco will not be free and will not be able to like live a full life. And so she's tearing it off because she's not going to let that happen to him. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Here's the thing about this though. Why? Zeke is already working with the enemy. He does not give a single fuck about Falco. So I think it's kind of weird how Colt thinks that this is gonna be a thing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, bro, like there's absolutely no way Zeke gives any fucks. What I think is interesting about this though is that I feel like that the armband there is supposed to be some sort of parallel to Mikasa's scarf in some way. I'm not entirely sure what yet, but I feel like that it is. And it was also left behind, and so I'm not sure what it means. So Porco just gets bodied right here. He just gets ripped apart. Meanwhile, they're doing their whole like, oh yeah, like, you know, we're so close to fulfilling our dream, and then this is where you met your end peck. And I love this because they're like, oh, who got her? And they're like, oh, wasn't you guys? And I love this because it's so smart. It just highlights Peck's intelligence, right? Because she was like the smart one, you know what I mean? All of them are smart, but she was like the smartest one. That was, you know, something that really stuck with me when she was first introduced. And so I love this. I love this scene that she like tricked them, and I love the commander getting one in on Zeke right here. And see, here's the thing, right? So Zeke does a tumble, and look at this shot composition right here. This is genuinely amazing to me. Like, look at this. It's interesting that they meet here. I guess it's because like this was a markable, what do you call it? An easily marked location. But like just look at this. Like, this is so good that like there's this behind him, but then Zeke like falls on top of it. You know what I mean? Like falls on top of the hole in the wall. Like, I just think that that's great. I think that's so cool. And so then Reiner says, so that's your plan, Eren, right? And so he knows now that like Eren set all of this up. He wanted Marley to attack Zeke. He wanted Marley to get one in on him so he could go and take Zeke's powers. And so Reiner's like, the last person that should have that is you, bro. So, you know, we gotta stop him. Hurry up. If he's even got an ounce of life left, he'll scream, right? And so I think that that's interesting because now Falco is headed towards there. And so some people think that Reiner will give up his power to Falco, if that is the case, like if he turns into a Titan and screams. But I could see Falco being turned into a Titan and then eating Zeke. And again, that would help with all like the bird metaphors that I've already talked about. He would turn into like a bird beast, you know? And what's weird here is there's a little bit of weird lighting, you know? It's like a little rainbow or something. I don't know. I just think it's a little sus. It almost looks like that could be somebody's like eyeball. Like that could be like somebody's looking at him through their retina or something. But I think the lighting there with Falco was a little sus and a little magical or something. So in conclusion, I think we have two pretty good theories, right? Like we have a Reiner alternatives, but I really think that it's going to be Zeke for the purpose of the beast thing. And also, wasn't there something a while ago where it was like Titans can't fly, so like, you know, as technology progresses, like flying is better, you know, like blimps are good, you know, like in terms of like anti-Titan technology, blimps and stuff being used. And so what if you do get a Titan that can fly? But yeah, so the battle rages on as others rush for the two key Titans, right? And so that even makes me wonder if Eren will survive next episode, to be honest. He could die too. But yeah, we see Mikasa getting Eren out of the way for some reason. I think that's supposed to be Eren in this picture. It's kind of hard to tell. It kind of looks like Peck though, I don't know. But yeah, and so Peck is in her Titan body and somebody very blurrily is fighting her. Yeah, so we're not entirely sure. Oh, but yeah, they're not looking so good. Whoever that was, they're not looking good. And yeah, then we have Zeke and he's just big chilling. He's just lying on the floor and his arm is not looking good. And so it's kind of funny that Ymir would bring this man back to life just for him to get eaten by Zeke or Falco. I think that that's a very entertaining thought, but I may have to go back to my old, oh, he has pants now. How? Somebody gave him pants? I guess somebody gave him pants after I didn't notice that. Somebody gave him pants after he was reborn. I guess he's wearing jeans. That's so funny. Okay, anyway, all that being said, I totally forgot what I was saying. I think we have some good Falco-related theories. I may have to go back and look at my old reviews to see, like, what other evidence I had for stuff happening, because I do remember I had a theory about a Falco and Eren connection, but I guess it was just that, like, maybe Falco would get all the powers and change the world somehow, because he's sort of like I don't know, he's kind of like the more innocent version of Eren. I think that we had that theory that maybe, I don't know, maybe Eren will still lock himself away, as I've been saying, but then give Falco the key because he trusts like that Falco will make a better future. I don't know. Those were things that I said before. I still like my Eren encasing himself in ice theory. I think that that's still good. But yeah, maybe that's it. It's like, Eren, are you really willing to murder a child? Like, you know what I mean? But maybe Eren is willing to murder a child for the greater good. Question mark. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court today, and I will see you next week. Remember that you guys should check out the Patreon if you want to see the full-length reactions, or if you just like, you know, you like these reviews, you want to support the reviews, want to support the editors who edit the reviews. And I will see you later. Bye!